99% of men fail with women, disrespected, flaked on. They're dating whales, they're dating big women, they're settling, they're getting no dates and no numbers. And the reason is they don't have the information. They don't have a system. They don't have a strategy. And all of them might tell themselves, it's my looks, it's my money, it's my status. BS. You know why I know that? Because I've seen guys change nothing about their looks, money, or status, implement a system, the proven 1% man system that I'm going to lay out in its entirety. I'm exposing the entire system that guys pay me thousands of dollars to teach them. I'm going to give it to you in this video. Because they've done that, implemented the system, not changed their job, their looks, or their status, and have been in the 1% of men in literally weeks. From bottom 20%, no numbers, no dates, no traction, to 4 dates a week. Escalating, converting, having women chase them, being in relationships, I've seen it all. And it doesn't matter if you want a family, or a wife, or a girlfriend, or casual encounters. The 1% man system is created to you. It works in every single outcome you want. So in this video, it's a special video. It's a big presentation. It's never before seen content. It's my 1% man system entirely laid out. The 6-pillar system that will make you, in just a matter of weeks, go from the bottom 80% of men to the top 1%. Dating on your terms, dating with full control, full power. That is how powerful this system is. I'm also going to show you people that have literally gone through the system and tell you exactly how we implemented it, exactly what changes we made in their dating lives, from their words, not mine, to show you how this works in real time. This is going to be one of my favorite videos I've ever done. It's going to be one of my longest videos I've ever done. Grab a pen, grab some paper, take some notes, sit down. Let's get into our first client and tell you exactly what he did to get the results that he got in just a matter of weeks.
All right, guys, to give you a bit of context, this client came to me getting some apps online, but never approaching women and not converting on the matches. So not even getting numbers or dates. So he didn't even have dates to practice on, and he had never approached women in his life. This is the type of mindset and the skill set that we were working with from the very beginning. And again, he didn't change his looks, his money, or his status. He just learned a proven system to win. So let's hear from his words on how the system helped him and exactly where we helped him out.
For the program, I didn't have much of a dating life to speak of. I was on dating apps. I was getting some matches, but I was not converting any of these matches to numbers. I was rarely getting numbers, and I was getting almost no dates. And as far as mindset goes, you kind of was not going too good, about that, obviously.
Yeah, man.
That's what dating life to speak of.
The dating life and the mindset, they always go hand in hand. It's hard to be a guy in the world and be like, I'm super confident in myself when your dating life is suffering, and I think we've all been there. And so they always go hand in hand, and that's why in the program we focus heavily on mindset, as you know. How did you first find me, and what made you decide to invest in the one-on-one program?
I first saw you on Instagram or YouTube. It was one of the two, but you started popping up and the advice just made sense. I've seen other similar content pop up on my feed before, and a lot of it just didn't really click for me. It just seemed some of it just seemed cheesy and just gamey, for lack of a better word.
This is a big distinction of the 1% man system and all other dating programs and courses. I turn you into the superhero version of you when it comes to women. I do not make you a clone of me. I do not say exactly this. It's completely customized to you. I can't be you, you can't be me, right? And a lot of these pickup artists and other stuff like that, it's like copy and paste these words, it should work. What if that's not organic to you? Because women can see through that. They can see energy. That's why we have to fix the root problem, the root cause, and skill stack and work our way up the skill sets of dating so that you can be the best version of you, not a replica or a clone of me. That's never going to work.
It just made sense. I kind of liked the approach and the kind of no holds barred kind of tone, I guess, and that appealed to me. Watched one of the videos, and then you mentioned coaching, reached out about it, because I figured I had nothing to lose at this point. No dates, no numbers, so nothing to lose. I tried it. So
what was your biggest fear or hesitation before joining the program?
The biggest hesitation was definitely is this going to work? If I'm going to spend the money on this, am I going to just, because there's so much coaches out there, and I feel there's a lot of people online that are trying to sell stuff, and you kind of have to be wary in this day and age when it comes to that. So I was concerned. I was am I going to see results from this? Am I going to spend this money and get nothing, or I'm gonna spend this money and like get great results. I don't know, but that was the biggest hesitation was that.
Totally, man. There's a lot of bad actors out there for sure. What was your first breakthrough you had after joining the program?
Biggest one would have to be my texting game. Like I said, I was getting matches, but almost no numbers. And so very quickly, your advice on how to text women, like it clicked. And after a little while, I was like, okay, wow, what I was doing before was so bad. And frankly, a little bit cringe. And that changed really.
90% of communication now is over the phone, right? You see them for 3 hours in person, but you have to text them. You have to retain, you have to engage, you have to convert to dates. Texting is such a big part of being good with women and dating and converting. And if you don't have your text game dialed, you will suffer, even if you're the most charismatic guy in person. Fixing that constraint with men takes them to an entirely new level when it comes to dating and women.
Quickly, and it was just kind of like a light bulb moment. Like, okay, this makes sense, and I saw great results really quickly from that.
And how has your dating life changed since joining the program, brother?
Shit, man, it's changed quite a bit. It's changed a hell of a lot. Like I said, no dates before, and now I've passed a month or so. I've had multiple dates per week, like 3 to 4 dates per week, and which is like mind-blowing. I never had anything like that before, so it's been great. Huge change.
So zero dates, zero numbers to tons of numbers and tons of dates. I think most guys in a month process, like most guys in 1 month can set multiple dates, and you're doing it week after week. And it's not random either. I mean, you've done it with multiple women and in different scenarios. And it's been honestly awesome, man. Honestly, to watch your progress. It feels great, man. I mean, you said your life has been changed, and honestly, you're a different person, bro. Like you're so much more confident. It's really awesome to see. What's the one thing you learned that completely changed the way you approach dating and women so far?
Mindset is just a huge thing.
Mindset's everything. That's why it's the bottom pillar that you'll see out of the 6 pillars with the 1% man system. If you don't fix the foundation, the mindset, everything collapses underneath you. Fixing mindset makes you overnight better with women and dating.
I get so down on myself previously, like, oh, I don't get any numbers. You just let it affect my mind, let it affect my mood, like throughout the day. It was just like a mind poison that, you feel bad about this, and then it affects you the rest of your life. So a huge thing would just be mindset and just like not giving a damn. Like, you know what? You win some, you lose some, but like at the end of the day, I'm cool. There's plenty of other girls out there, and I'm gonna be successful with them. And just like having that, not being so attached, just be like, you know what? Screw it, man. Like things will work out. Things will be okay. So positive mindset, I think, is one of the biggest changes.
And it definitely has worked out. To prove yourself right, it definitely has worked out. Last question for you, man. What would you say to someone who's on the fence about joining my program?
I would say do it. If your dating life is not where you want it to be, that can change. It may seem like, for me at least, it seems insurmountable. Like I was just a guy who got no dates, and like that's just the way it was, and that couldn't change. But if you're in a similar situation and you're just not happy with your dating life, just try it.
So now that we've seen how this applies in real life to different situations and how everything is customized per client, the 1% man system presentation is here. Let's dive into the 6 pillars. Let me show you exactly what's included, how I work with guys, what this system looks like in real detail so that you can go from bottom 80% to top 1% in just a matter of weeks. All right, guys, welcome to the 1% man system presentation. In this video, we're breaking down my exact 1% man system. This is the sauce, okay? This is the system I created from 15 years of experience, and the exact system I walk my clients through that takes them from 0 women, 0 dating to 1% man in weeks, sometimes days. Now, what does 1% man mean? How do you justify that? Well, are you dating at will? Are you dating the women you actually desire? Are you not settling? Are you converting and escalating when it comes to intimacy? Are women chasing you? Can you have a woman be your girlfriend right now? Are you dating women without basically any limitation? That is what it means to be a 1% man. That is what I take my clients to in just a matter of weeks using this exact system. And I know it works because it's worked for them without changing their looks, money, or status, but it's also worked for me. I mean, this is the accumulation of decades, 15 years plus of dating, of experience, of learning, of testing, of understanding female nature, of learning everything from the ground up. It's this system. That's why it's so ironclad. That's why it's the best system on the dating market. Because as you'll see, and as I go through this presentation, most programs and most coaches cover 1 to 3 of these max. We do 6 pillars. It is thorough, it uncovers every stone, and you will not leave this transformation in this presentation with literally any gaps in your dating game at all. It's that good. So let's dive in. Let's talk through it. This is not going to be a fast edit presentation. I'm really going to take my time doing this. So grab a pen and paper, take some notes, and let's dive right in. The foundation of the entire system, guys, is knowing and mastering female nature and female psychology. God damn it. Is that a typo on the first one? As you can see, I type everything myself. The entire foundation of this is understanding, knowing, and mastering female nature and female psychology. But why? Why is that so important? It's so important because when we understand women to such an incredible, thorough degree, we can predict and create their entire behavior towards us. And we can reverse engineer it and do certain actions and certain behaviors that guarantee how they will respond. For example, right now, maybe in your dating life, you don't have control, you don't have the power, you don't have the frame. You don't understand why she's doing things, and things are a little bit cloudy. I can look at a situation or a woman and say, I'm going to do this behavior, and I can guarantee how she's going to respond. When you know her move on the chessboard, how can you not win? When you're playing someone in chess, which dating really is chess, and you know their every move, that is when you become a grandmaster. And it stems from truly mastering and knowing female nature and female psychology like the back of your damn hand. And so these are the 6 pillars. Internal rewiring, and we're going to dive into each one. Internal rewiring and mindset, female psychology mastery, initial attraction volume, converting to dates, dominating and escalating the dates, and retention and frame control. And so, as you can see, the foundation of the pyramid is you. It's your mindset. It's your internal beliefs, because that will dictate behavior, tonality, body language, everything I'm going to dive into. Because if we skip a step here, okay, let's say we just go to dominating and escalating dates, okay? And I give you exactly what to do on dates. And I tell you the exact secrets, the exact formula. But you go in with the mindset of, she's probably not going to like me. And, like that one last time with women, it didn't really go well. And I get rejected all the time. And you have all of this negative garbage. It's not going to stick. Even if you have the secrets. That's why it's the foundation. So let's dive into every single pillar that I talk about in my system and what the system really is, so you can just be a machine. Dominate the game. Now, let's start here. Okay, this is the very, very beginning of this. You have to go into dating with a desired outcome in mind. You can't be winging this shit. You really need to know what you want. What do you want? You know, do you want to date first casually, then go into a relationship? Do you just want to have casual encounters? Maybe you're divorced and you're like, I want to get married again. Whatever it is, whatever your desired outcome is, it all stems to the 1% man system. And with my one-on-one clients, I curate and customize the entire action plan, strategy plan, everything for exactly what they want. But for you, it's important to know, like, what am I optimizing for? What do I want? What do I care about? What do I want out of dating? When you go into dating blind, you're just like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just like trying to do things. Nothing goes well. You need a desired outcome that you're going for that you can actually aim and hit. If you're aiming at nothing, how are you going to hit anything? But the 1% man system works for any outcome. Doesn't matter what you want. These are the pillars and steps you need to master dating, no matter what it is that you want. Pillar number 1. Lot of information coming to you today. This is like unlike any other video I've ever done. Pillar number 1, the internal game. The foundation of your dating life is your internal game. God, I'm an amazing speller. Is your internal game. Your mindset, beliefs, attitudes, emotions. They are the foundation because it what dictates your behavior. I'll give you another example. Let's say we're talking down the line in one of the other pillars about texting women. But deep down, your mindset, your beliefs, your attitudes show timidness. You're afraid of offending her. You're afraid of losing her. You're in scarcity. You have a negative mindset. You're worried she's going to like you. You have all this negative self-talk, all this garbage. You will not be able to execute the boldness that I tell you what to do in my program or in the system. You won't be able to execute. You will not be able to click send. You will be gun shy. You'll be worried, and nothing is going to stick. You are the foundation. You are the bottom of the pyramid. You dictate your success. And the copes you tell yourself and the lies, I'm not rich, I'm not tall, whatever, is going to just kill your dating, destroy it. Doesn't matter if you have all the secrets, all the tricks in the book, all the gimmicks, all the pickup line artists, whatever. It will not matter because deep, deep down, you don't think you're worthy. You think you're a loser. And women can see right through it, okay? Women see beyond pickup lines. They see beyond a text. They feel your energy from the inside out. You need to hard reset your entire perspective around dating women to be successful. You were taught things about women and behavior that are hurting you drastically with women. So what I mean by that is, what you learned about human behavior, like a really, really good example is the golden rule, right? The golden rule, treat others how you want to be treated. Very simple. You're taught that in kindergarten, at least I was, or preschool. And so that sets the premise of, I need to be nice to them because I want them to be nice to me, right? Basic golden rule. Everybody's taught that. What you learned about behavior does not apply to women, especially women you want to pursue in court, because they're backwards. And so all of these micro lessons and micro beliefs make up the macro of your behavior, which drives women away. You need to unlearn and reset your entire perspective, your entire programming around what you know about women, dating, life, behavior, etc. to be successful. They are backwards to everything you've been told. You might be, another example, scared of telling them what to do because you're like, I don't want to offend them. I was told when I was younger that if I offend and if I tell people what to do, they won't like me, etc. On the flip side, if you listen to me, you know that women love when men tell them what to do. You need to unlearn these things, all of them from the ground up. Current beliefs, killing your dating life. Women don't like me because of my looks. Women don't like me because of my money. Women are evil and terrible. I'm just awkward and will always suck with women. Women will never like me. And the list goes on. If you tell yourself these things, you'll never win. No matter what I tell you, no matter what I teach you, no matter what you learn, no matter how much content you watch of mine, if you truly believe these things, you will be stuck forever. Forever. And so you need to kill these beliefs. You need to destroy them. You need to put them in the grave as your old self, and now your new self has empowering beliefs. Your new self believes in yourself. Your new self rejects this negativity that is only holding you back. These are the beliefs you need to truly, truly win at dating. Women love me and I'm the prize. I'm in an abundance of women. I'm confident, certain, and fantastic with women. Millions of women like me just the way I am. And I say billions. But let's start small. I don't care if I get rejected. There will be more women. I am completely unattached to the outcome. You can reverse engineer the opposite of all these beliefs and basically come to the conclusion of why you suffer with women. Quite literally. When you try to talk to them, you're attached to the outcome. You care if you get rejected. You don't think any women like you. I mean, literally. If you flip this on its head, it will explain your troubles with women. When you have these beliefs, you dominate. You start acting as if, you start being more confident, more certain. You start speaking a different way. You start moving a different way. You start moving in a way that women love. This is the sauce of mindset. And this is how to permanently change your mindset and beliefs. Because, look, I can rah-rah you up, right? Woo, be a cheerleader. But how are you going to behave when you're not listening to me speak? That is how you actually create change, is by doing things outside of the content. Doing actions every single day, like affirmations, only listening to content that empowers you, conscious awareness of self-talk at all times. Practice being introspective of where your negative talk comes from. You have to peel back the layers of who you are as a man. Daily habits like gym and meditation to center your mind. Act as if. Also, what I didn't mention is listening to audiobooks, etc., that can help you program your mind while you're driving, while you're in the gym, instead of that shitty music you listen to. Okay? This is the foundation. This is what's going to move the needle and be literally the base layer so that you can handle rejection. You can handle this, you can handle that. Because it's never a smooth road. And you need to be ironclad in your mind. Women are hard to deal with. It's a brand new skill set you weren't taught in school. And if you can't last mentally, you'll never succeed. Ever, ever, ever. This has to be a part of your daily habits and is instrumental to your dating. Pillar number 2, as you remember on the pyramid, is female psychology. When you understand how women think, you can reverse engineer their behavior, predict responses, and control the frame. You become the grandmaster. But we have to understand female psychology to be able to do this. Most guys have no clue how women think, how women operate. They have no idea. And the only other people I see talking about female psychology are like clinical psychologists, genuinely. And it's like, that's good, but my master's degree in this comes from being in the field, right? It's like, How many people did that clinical psychologist date, or is this just from his studying? I've done both. This comes mainly from just sheer experience in the field. So much experience that I literally can just see under the hood when it comes to women. So what are the core drivers that run female psychology? Hypergamy. Women optimize for the best option available. Emotional wiring. Decisions driven by feelings, not logic. Attention economy. Attention is their currency. It always has been, though. It's just, things are shifting. Pre-selection, social proof, status. They want men that other women want, etc. And biological programming, right? These are things that are hardwired. Safety, protect, provide, etc. We all know these things. So how do we position ourselves in the marketplace of dating to check all these boxes and make women chase us? That is essentially where the 1% man system comes into. Pick of women and brain. And so, not to spend like an hour on this, right? But you can do certain behaviors that will check these boxes for women. I'll give you an example. Attention economy, right? Women are so hardwired to seek attention. So you need to create attention that is more valuable than other guys' attention. That's how you separate yourself. Because at the end of the day, when you're dealing with 8, 9s, and 10s, they have the entire market of attention to dive into. The entire fucking market. They could get attention from anybody. And so your attention needs to stand out. You do that by learning how to be unreadable, spike emotion, playful dominance, and all the strategies I teach in texting and in person, etc. And now your attention means more in her mind. It's more rewarding to give than all the other attention. That's how you win the game. And you do that with every single one, right? You could do that with biological programming. By showing and being assertive and leading, you show that you can protect and provide because you have the masculine frame. And so you can reverse engineer every single one of these core drivers into behavior that guarantees you check that box. So this is how it shows up, right? You have surface behaviors like a shit test. It's a subconscious way of probing your frame, flakes, pulling back, mixed signals, social comparisons, chasing emotions. This is how women show up in their behavior, right? So there's layers, there's tranches. There's layers of behavior that come up from the core drivers. Okay, this is all integrated, right? Hypergamy can show up with shit tests because she wants to make sure you're still the best option. Can he handle me? Can he pass the shit test, etc.? They're all intertwined. They're all interconnected, all of them. And so when you understand this, you don't get famoosed by behavior. You don't get bamboozled by their behavior. So when you see them doing mixed signals, you'd be like, this is emotional wiring, right? She's driven off feelings. I'm not going to take it personally. I'm not going to react. Same with a shit test. You become in control, and you're able to navigate these behaviors and these situations so easily because you know where it stems from. And this will never change. This is women, okay? This will never, ever, 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 ever change. Now, in terms of reverse engineering to your advantage, right? You have a top-down, heightened perspective. Instead of seeing it eye to eye, you see it top-down. You see it for what it actually is. And you're able to relax. You're able to predict her next move. You can reframe her. You can reward and punish behavior. So you have to condition her because this is real. Look, if you're a guy and you don't understand these things and you don't know how to reward and punish behavior and you don't know how to condition her for what you're looking for, she'll find somebody that will because they need that leadership. They need that frame. And of course, leverage environment, right? Logistics that favor you. So let's talk about power outcomes, okay? What you gain. You can control her emotional roller coasters. You can flip her logical resistance into emotional compliance. You can make her feel like you get her better than anyone else, which is what women are just drawn to, right? When you understand women, you make them feel comfortable. You can dictate their behavior. They're addicted to you. You can create inevitability, right? Things become more predictable. She invests more and more and chases you. And you maintain dominance in short-term and long-term dynamics. Because the core drivers that we talked about never go away, ever. And so the game never ends. And so you have to understand these things, whether you want a wife, a girlfriend, a rotation, it doesn't matter. These are so, so, so important to understanding women and dating. Forever. Let's keep going. Okay. This is pillar 3. Can I switch? Oh, I can do these in real time. Awesome. Pillar 3, volume and initial attraction. You need volume when you date. you need volume. You need to have an abundance of women. Now, if you're wanting to get married and have a wife, this still applies in the beginning. Obviously, I'm not saying have volume when you're married if you want to be monogamous, because that is up to you. But what I will say is, I don't care if you're optimizing for encounters, hookups, rotation, or a wife. When you are still dating and there is no label and there is no agreement, you need volume, because it takes time to meet women you actually like. It takes time, it takes vetting. And when you don't have volume, when you're in scarcity, you react emotionally and you lose a ton of women and you drive them away because you don't have options. And women love men with options. So, how do we get volume? How do we get the initial interaction? How do we get more attraction initially? Let's dive in. We have two ways of generating volume. Very simple, okay? Online and in person. When somebody works with me one-on-one, they pick at least one, sometimes two of these. And we all have our preferences, right? But what I want to tell you is, whether you think online is bullshit or in person is bullshit, you are wrong. They both work. And they both can be used to our advantage. You're just doing them wrong. I have a lot of guys be like, oh, online, it doesn't work for me, whatever. I look at their profile, it's terrible. We've put no effort in. Or in person, all I get is rejected. And I hear how they talk to women, how they approach women. I'm like, okay, like obviously this doesn't work for you because you're doing it all wrong. like clearly you just need a new strategy of doing them. Okay. So these are the two mechanisms. And online is social media, is dating apps, online groups. In person is work, friend groups, cold warm approaching. This is how we're going to generate our volume. Meet more women, meet more attractive women. Okay. Let's start with online. Just proof it works. Okay. It fucking works. And I put like no effort in. Social media. Let's start here with Instagram. Okay. Side note with Instagram. If you have very little followers and a shit profile, buy a few hundred minimum and get images before doing sourcing and messaging, which I'll talk about down here. Okay. Because optics and appearance matters online. It's just the way it is. And look, a lot of people think, or a lot of men think with online dating, that if you're not a super handsome Sigma Chad, that you're gonna get no traction. And that is complete bullshit. It's making your images look good and putting you in the best light possible. Okay? So here is a premise I want to put in before I get into both online. Your image and marketing is king when it comes to meeting women online. You can reuse the same images across platforms and apps. You want to market your product, you, in the best light possible to increase initial reaction. This does not mean you need to go and look smacks and do fucking Botox and all this crazy shit, but you need to have good images. Okay? You can't have shit images. Spend one weekend with one person, change clothes a few times, and get 6 good images. That is all you need to create massive traction. I mean, literally dates on command every single week with your dating. It is worth the effort. Okay? 6 good images can last you years. Put in the fucking work. If you want me to do them for you, you can fly in. That's an option. DM me in person, and I'll happily do that with you. That's one of my in-person mentorships. Now, let's talk about the sourcing strategy, okay? Because we have to source our leads. How you find women on Instagram is going to be determined by what type of women you're looking for, okay? If you're looking for a roster, fun, casual, etc., you go to bars and clubs near you on the recent geotag. So you type in a bar, you go to places, and then you just filter through bars and clubs. If you want more normal, wholesome girls, you go to healthy restaurants, health clubs, gyms, etc., okay? Those women will also have other leads in their suggested accounts section. You want to go to the recent section and go to stories. If you go to top images, it'll just be people from like 5 years ago. You don't know if they live there anymore. Also, you can run ads in local areas if you're traveling or want to expand your reach. I've literally done this. Like when I was in Cabo one year, I ran an image that I posted of me eating dinner in Cabo to women like, I set my age, I set my range, etc. And I just put it as a normal picture, not like no caption being like girls DM me. It was just literally my picture, but I ran an ad. It was like $10 a day or something, really cheap. Every girl that liked it, I DM them. Yo, what's good? You in Cabo? And I got the ball rolling like that. You could totally do that. Totally do that. Message all the likes, 100%. So let's talk about messaging and outbound. Okay. Once you find the women through geotags and suggested accounts, here's the strategy. You like 1 to 2 images, ideally stories because they fade away, and DM them. You can reply to a story or DM them cold. Following is not typically necessary. Openers will be context-based for stories, or you can say, are you in this city, with just city question mark with emoji, or something similar. Like Miami question mark with a random emoji. This works totally well, works totally clean. You can send a post they posted and with some like witty banter that's contextual around the post. That's all. That's all you need, okay? With a solid profile, if you do 10 a day, you'll easily have a few dates per week or per month. 70 new women per day. Literally. Now you can't just fumble, which is in the next pillar, right? You have to know how to talk to them. This is Instagram. And Instagram is a very solid lead source. Now, let's talk about dating apps, okay? Dating apps. Just making sure everybody's organized with my chart. The strategy. Dating apps are a numbers game, and it stems from your branding and imagery. You need to optimize your profile so it's not too masculine and not too feminine. What I mean by that is, way too masculine is like all your images are you doing like PRs and deadlifts. Okay, that's just really, really absurdly masculine. On the feminine side is having prompts like just homosexual prompts. Okay, we just be you, just be right in the middle, and have prompts that spike emotion to induce women to message you first. Because the likelihood of you meeting up with them when they message you first and have that initial effort is much, much higher. So have creative prompts. I mean, they don't need to be paragraphs. Definitely don't do paragraphs. Definitely don't do any, autobiographies, but have prompts that are a little bit interesting, that spike emotion a little bit, etc. Like one of my prompts I can give you is you win a prize if, that's the question, and then my answer is if you guess my ethnicities. It challenges them, makes them think, makes them message first, etc. Very simple, induces emotion. 25 swipes per day keeps the doctor away. It's 10 fucking minutes. 10 minutes of swiping and talking. That's all you need. Always filter by mile radius and depending on your profile, have a little criteria when it comes to filtering, right? Like height, radius, age, etc. Pellegrino. Okay, messaging and outbound strategy. Once you start getting matches, use context to your advantage. If you don't have anything to work with, keep it very casual. Zero validation or gayness, okay? Name, just their name, just hey you with an emoji maybe. She already liked you, okay? Effort only drives them away. When I say use context, I mean use their prompts. I mean talk about things from their images. If you see they've traveled somewhere, ask them about it. Use context. Keep it casual. Do not validate. Don't be sending roses. Don't be saying you're so beautiful, whatever. If I see her at the beach, I'm going to ask her what her favorite beach is or some shit like that. Keep it very, very casual and nonchalant. With a solid profile and a nonchalant opening strategy, you will soon be flooded with women, which is good. You need volume. More women means we can be more selective, means we tolerate less bullshit. Now, you just need to convert to dates. You see how everything's stacking up? This is a skill stack, okay? This is you stacking skills along the way so you can be a 1% man with women. There's my beautiful visual. Let's talk about in person. Proof it works, okay? Because everybody thinks nothing works. I'll tell you, everything works, okay? Let's get you good at everything. Work, friend groups, cold, warm approaching. For this presentation, I'm just going to be talking about approaching. When it comes to work, be careful with HR, make a move, read it from there. When it comes to friend groups, do your best. It's easier. Obviously, it's a warm intro. Okay, before I go into day and night game, your ability to successfully approach women comes down to a combination of things: energy, aura, conversation. The most important thing when it comes to approaching is your energy and your confidence. Never lead with compliments or validation. Make the conversation feel like you've known them for years and be bold on converting. You cannot be afraid. Cannot be afraid to ask for number, Instagram, whatever it is. You have to fucking go for it. Women also want men that are bold and that just go for it. So quite literally, you're doing yourself a disservice all around when you don't. So let's talk about day game. The strategy. My favorite place to meet women is during the day out and about. Why is that? They're almost always alone running errands. Basically always. Whereas at night in bars and clubs, they're always in groups. It's a challenging factor, right? Plus, you stand out significantly by having the courage, right? They're having drunk guys go up to them all the time. And I'm going to go into night game because you should go up to women at night as well. But you're sober during the day. You're not just drunk, just trying to have sex, right? Whereas that might seem like the case at night. Cafes, gyms, grocery stores, pools, elevators, literally anywhere. You name it, I've approached from it. This is my strategy. Never pat them on the back. Never say, excuse me. Position yourself so they obviously know you're speaking to them and then speak. You want to get, relatively in front of them at an angle. Use context to your advantage. Always reference it, okay? So if we're at a grocery store and they are looking at fruit, you don't say necessarily, what's your favorite fruit? But you might say, oh, those look so good. I love bananas. That was kind of gay. But like I love avocado. You know, how do you make your avocado toast? Something, I mean, like there's a billion ways to use context to your advantage. Use it because women are nervous, anxious creatures and they need to make sense of the fact that a stranger is talking to them. And if you use your context, all of a sudden it makes sense and it's no longer a stranger. If you go, hey, excuse me, I just thought you were really attractive, blah, blah. First off, gay. Second off, zero frame. Third off, it's like, okay. Or just like, hi, how are you? It's like, okay, why are you talking to me? But if you use context and you're like, have you gotten these peaches before? They're like, no, why is that? Oh, he's talking about peaches because we're in a grocery store. Oh, that's how their brain works. Never validate them and always go for Instagram or never to make future plans. Literally never bitch out, ever. Very minimum, Instagram. Very, very, very minimum. And you can do that like with the peach example. You're like, oh, sure, I'll see you around. Maybe we can go to a farmer's market sometime. Why don't you give me your Instagram? They have the best produce. Smooth as silk. That's why you're watching this video. If you do approaching right, you will get 20% contact info. Literally at least 20% for Instagram. Not fucking hard. You can totally do it. Talk about night game. Your venue will determine your strategy. See Social Edge Mastery. That's a course I have on. You have to put yourself, or night game mastery. Night game is actually very specific to the nighttime. You have to put yourself in positions and venues to win big, okay? Going to like crazy raves, everyone's rolling, where you can't even talk to women and the music's just like, unz, unz, unz. What do you think is gonna happen? Okay, you're gonna try to like sneak up and dance with the girl? It's like, maybe, but typically not, right? Keep things light and have the courage to approach one or more girl at once. Because at night, women are always in groups. They don't go out alone. They're always in a group, so you have to be able to go up to two women, have a conversation, look them both in the eyes, engage both of them, and then get in, get out, right? Let them have girl time. Be like, but let me grab your Instagram. I'm sure I'll see you later. We can grab a drink, whatever. You get the contact, you're in, you're out. Approaching strategy. Always look for choosing signals, but approach either way. So do a lap, post up, look for some eye contact, but if you don't have it, like fucking shoot your shot. Anyways, never lead with, can I buy you a drink? Ever. You're going to get women that only want to use you for drinks. Never lead with compliments. That destroys the frame. Always make eye contact with the entire group when approaching. Confident and poised body language. Like I said before, how you do things is more important than what you say. If I give you the best line in the world and you're like a fucking sick dog, it's not going to work. Okay? You need confident and poised body language. Like you do this all the time. I don't care if you don't. Set it up for contact info or a same night hangout depending on how the interaction goes. If it goes super well, maybe then you introduce a drink, right? You bring your friends over, the friends are all mingling. But if it goes just okay and you can tell she wants to be with her girls, get the contact info. Get in, get out. We are militant with it. Pillar, everything's messed up. That's okay. Pillar 4, converting to dates. Okay, so now that we have more volume, and now that we're meeting more women, and now that we're shooting shots in person and online, and we're getting contact info, none of it matters if we don't convert to a date. Zero. Because texting is going to be the majority of your communication with women. You may see them once a week, but you're texting the other days. So we have to know how to execute to dates. There's 2 pillars inside pillar 4, which is logistical and texting. You need to know how to convert on both of them. Let's talk about logistical first. This is setting the actual plans, okay? It is incredibly important that you move with speed. Do not be setting plans out 2 weeks in advance. If she says she's going out of town, don't make plans. You just follow up in 2 weeks. You need to be setting dates within 3 days of getting contact info for max. Today is a Wednesday. And if I were to approach a girl, I would expect to see her by the end of the week, no later than Saturday. At all. I don't care what she's doing. Okay? You need to get in the habit of moving with efficiency. Because when you make the initial interaction, you need to capture like lightning in a bottle. That emotional tension. She, understands your feeling, your banter, your behavior. You need to capture it. Okay, get the contact info, text for a day, maybe, and set the date within 3 days. Move with efficiency. Where you go is also very important. Set the date by leading and being assertive. Select a location as close to your house as humanly possible. Always do dates at night. Always. Unless you're looking for a really wholesome girl, looking for a wife, etc. You can start with a coffee or like a light lunch. Something like that is totally fine. But typically speaking, you want your dates at night because they're just more relaxed. It's just a better vibe. Even if you don't care about going home with them, which is your prerogative. It's just a better vibe. They look sexier at night. It just is what it is. Okay. Let's talk about texting execution. Very important. Texting is a monster when it comes to being a 1% man because it's so important. It can make or break your game. If you're fantastic at getting tons of matches, but your texting sucks, guess what happens? No dates, no women, etc. Same can be true about if you're amazing at retaining girls, but fuck, I mean, I can never get them on a date. Everything collapses in the pyramid if you can't text for shit. You need to be spiking emotion and being direct. Do not become a pen pal. Do not text for days or weeks about getting to know her. Preserve your mystery. Women will do things to get a reward. Human psychology. They will hang out with you to learn more, to be intrigued, etc. If you give them all of the potential reward of them hanging out with you on text because you're not mysterious and you overtalk, blah, 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 they'll never meet up with you. There's no point because they got what they wanted and it's over. You need to make sure you're giving your attention via texting to transact for plans. And you do that by becoming a master at texting. Your texting should convey that you're interesting, unreadable, but a professional. You're about that action. You're about that life. You're about meeting up. You're about making plans. You can set plans. You can make plans, etc. You can have a bit of fun, but you are a man at the end of the day, right? We're not going to be sitting here all day giggling and texting this fucking woman. You can lead plans and move the needle forward in the dynamic, right? So we want to have a little bit of banter, but at the end of the day, we're here to set plans. We're here about that action. If they're not on board with that, replace them. This is why you need volume. If you don't have volume, then you're going to tolerate women that aren't about that action, that are just you're putting up with everything for, and you're going to meet them, and you're going to be settling. You won't be happy because they won't be the women you actually want. The submissive, amazing women want men that are about that fucking action. They want forward men. If you meet her online, leverage content like voice notes, FaceTimes, images, videos, etc. This is how you stand out. Most guys text like dog shit. That's why they never set dates. Send a voice note. One voice note is more powerful than 20 texts. So send some voice notes. Set up a FaceTime before the date, right? Make sure you're not getting catfished. She can see your personality, etc. Images, videos, and I'm not saying selfies. I'm saying like of random things, lifestyle random things. They all increase curiosity and comfort around you and help you stand out. Do not play 21 questions. Don't text her all day. One text the morning of plans, and that's it. See you tonight, baby. Whack. Duality. That's how you run the text game on a very high-low overview. Obviously, with my one-on-one clients and with when I coach guys, I literally tell them exactly how to respond, exactly what to do, exactly every step of the way. So they just have the plug and play game. But this is the premise of the plug and play game. First date behavior. I saw this image on the internet. And I just want to fucking vomit. Okay, first date behavior. A couple things that go into it because now we can convert, and now we're setting dates, and now, oh shit, we're showing up to a date. Now we actually have the date. What do we do? Let's talk about it. More Pellegrino, please. So I saw this picture on the internet, and I just had a seizure. This is exactly what you don't want to do. Okay, if you're like, how should I behave on the date? This is what you don't want. Okay, look at his body language. Look at his body language. He's wearing Toms. Anyways, he's leaning forward. He's acting so curious. What is this? What do we do? We're posing for a picture like we're the fucking president in the 1800s? It's terrible. Lean back. Be relaxed. Be poised. She should be the one leaning in. Okay? Relax your body language. So first date behavior comes down to your conversation, your body language, nonverbal communication, your tonality, everything in between. The first date should feel like she is qualifying herself to you. Ask good questions. Don't be the one on monologues. Have her prove herself to you. At any point, if you feel like you're the one qualifying yourself, you've lost the frame and the power. Your body language should be relaxed and poised. She should speak 70% of the time, led by your questions to her. So you're still controlling the conversation, but she is the one qualifying herself to you. This is how you flawlessly control the conversation. Okay. Hiking, again, drinks is the best first date, in my opinion. Hiking is just, it's not ideal unless you're like a diehard hiker that wants a diehard hiker girl, then by all means. Now, when it comes to conversation and mastering first date conversation, the points of conversation that she is obviously comfortable and interested in is what you go crazy on, okay? And do a little background research. Look at the Instagram, look at the apps, whatever, right? Look at her social and see what she's into. If she, like, very easy example. If she likes going to the gym, just probe away on that. Like, did you get a workout in today, right? We're just seamlessly in the conversation. It's not, What do you like about the gym? No, it's like, what'd you hit today? Did you go to the gym? Was it a rest day? What'd you hit? Oh, you hit legs. Perfect. What do you normally do? What's your split? Do you see how we're probing? I'm asking questions and then she can ramble. Okay? It's not, oh, I love going to the gym and I went to the gym today and I did this workout. Like, dude, no. No. Okay? You instigate conversation by probing. Always speak in a way that gives her just enough information, right? So she'll ask you questions back when you're leading with good conversations. If we're sticking with the gym conversation, example, she'll be like, did you go to the gym today? I'm like, yeah, I did a little shoulders, gotta get it in. Where do you like to go? Do you see how vague that is and casual? And then boom, right back to her. That is the flow. That's the sauce. If you haven't seen the video of my live date on YouTube, go look it up. It's like the FaceTime date, whatever. It's on YouTube. I show you exactly how to do this. Now, let's talk about the art of playful dominance. And it works over text. Of course, it works online. It works anytime. But it works especially well when you are doing it via person. Always find areas of conversation that they're behaving silly and tease them hard about it. Extra hard. It can be extremely simple or small, but set the tone and frame that you have the courage to fucking dunk on them, okay? For example, I was with a girl the other day, and we were talking about food, and we were talking about sushi. She's like, oh, I actually like the California roll. I'm teasing her about her palate. I'm teasing her about how she has the taste buds of a 4-year-old. I'm teasing her how silly that is. You don't really like sushi. Don't go into a sushi restaurant. They're going to ban you next time. Blah, 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 blah. It's very silly. It's very small. But it shows that I'm willing to slam them as a joke, and they like it. That is being playful and dominating them. So in conversation, find things about them that are silly, that make no sense, and you press the button. You're not afraid to tease them. The best setup, in my opinion, is a 2-stop venue. 2 bars for 2 pairs of drinks. It feels like 2 dates in one night. So when you go to the second venue, and this could be a light bite and whatever. I mean, like, mix it up, but 2 places is great because the second place just feels like a brand new date. It feels like date number 2, so they're much more comfortable. If you're optimizing for a wife, right, your strategy might change. And this is what I do in my program with my one-on-one guys. It's like, we'll curate things based on what they're optimizing for, right? So you might change it to coffee on the first date, set up a more serious second date. 2 hours max, okay? Unless there's clear escalation, physical escalation, 2 hours max. When it comes to first dates and touch barriers, you want to sit closer to them. Little tips, you want them to break the touch barrier. You want to be comfortable, etc. If you do want to escalate, here's how you do it, okay? You're going to come up with some random reason. Could be silly, could be small, doesn't matter. Why she needs to see your place. Can be as dumb as, I need to show you this view, let's get out of here. Literally, anything, any reason works as long as it's not, do you want to come to my place? No. You say, I got to show you this terrace. I got to make you this drink. I got to show you this. I got to show you that. Come on, let's get out of here. Okay. They follow your lead. They follow your energy. Do not ask them questions. Anytime you ask a woman a question, this is a fucking rule of thumb. Whenever you ask a woman a question, her brain has to think. She gets uncomfortable. She gets anxiety. Attraction drops. All right, pillar 6, frame and retention. Okay. This is after you've built all these skill sets, okay? You've built your internal frame back up. You understand female nature and female psychology. You know how to attract more women. You know how to convert them to dates. You know how to go on a date and just crush the date so they're chasing you after. Now, at the pinnacle of everything is frame and retention. And this is the game that never ends. This is the never-ending game of dating. 20 years in marriage, 6 months together, 3 weeks together, I don't care. You need to know how to retain. You need to know how to master frame and retention, because what's the point, right? We're optimizing for X. We need to get all the way. We need to get all the way with all of our skill sets stacking to know how to retain high-value women. The type of women you want dictates the level of game necessary to retain them. Okay, if you're dating 6s, you need 7 game, and so on. To level up the women you date and retain, you need elite strategies for doing so. Handling women how you always have is not going to translate. It's like high school level talent at the pro level. It's not going to work. You need to learn advanced game retention and frame tactics like you are in this video. The entire premise of retaining women is to maintain the chase and the dynamic so they always want more. They're never bored. This is a rule of thumb. When your woman's bored, it's over. She's cheating. Boredom is the worst thing a woman could possibly have. That's why they stay with abusive guys over nice guys, because at least they're not bored. Because they will get their emotional highs and their emotional fixes at any cost. Any cost. Even bruises, even cheating, etc. I'm not condoning that, but that is the truth. So you can't be bored. You have to know how to keep sparking emotions on command throughout years of relationship. That's the game. After you are intimate, your effort should drastically decrease. Now we start the chase, right? So, to put things in perspective, retention starts after intimacy. Okay, if you've been on 10 dates and she hasn't been intimate with you, she doesn't even like you, right? So retention starts after you guys are intimate together. Before you are intimate, your effort level is typically like a 7 to 9, right? And by effort, I don't mean tons of texts, tons of trying. What I mean by effort is you're running elite game. Okay, after intimacy, it needs to drop to about a 3 or a 4. Not too low where they get bored and move on, but just low enough so they want the chase. This is how it works. If you are intimate with them and you just maintain a 7 to 9 effort all the time, it's going to be too much. No mystery, too transparent, too readable. They're out. Okay? This includes mystery. I already know what I'm about to say. And by the way, the game of retention never ends. Frame of retention will last forever. This game is just starting at this point. So here's what to do and what to avoid when it comes to this. Avoid over-texting, seeing them multiple times a week, planning trips too soon, spending the night. I'm looking at you, buddy. I know I'm talking to someone out there that spent the night with this girl a ton of times. Don't do it, okay? Being transparent about what you want, don't do it. Do see them weekly. Text them briefly. Stay focused on things that are not her. Be assertive. Don't fucking relax. When you're relaxing and comfortable with a woman, they know it, you know it, frame is lost. When the situation or relationship becomes stable, this is when the power struggle intensifies, okay? Because they can sense he's getting comfortable, he's getting dormant, it's my time to pounce and get more power. As crazy as this sounds, it's the truth. After the chase has died down, maybe labels are thrown around, the shit tests increase massively, okay? When she is now the girlfriend or the main or whatever, this is when they start to test and test and test even more. This is when you need to be on your frame big time. You must know and learn how to handle shit tests with ease. When you fail shit tests, respect drops and attraction fades with time. Hypergamy kicks in when women are not put down because they no longer see you as the best option. Women only see men that put them down as the best option. Why? Because if they're dating up, why would you put them on a pedestal? Doesn't make any... Oh, what? I'm above you, but I want a guy above me. They only know this when you're putting them down. This is psychology 101. And don't shoot the messenger, but this is just the case. This is how you master the shit test. Okay, this is the 3-step blueprint. You obviously don't get emotional. You reframe or redirect, and you move the fuck forward. You never, ever, ever react. You literally never engage and meet them eye to eye. You cannot take women seriously, right? This goes back to understanding female nature and female psychology. So we can see their shit test for what it is. You're just testing me, whatever. I'm not going to give a shit about it. A lot of guys, a lot of good men fail when it comes to frame retention because they get comfortable and they've been dating a girl for 6 months and they fail multiple shit tests because they don't care and they concede and they give up power and they compromise and it ends. And you might have just lost the mother of your children or your wife because you don't understand this exact thing. Because you don't understand female nature, female psychology, you get comfortable, you relax, etc. You lose the game. You need to stack your skills when it comes to women. You can't have, I'm really good at 3 of these things. No, you need every single one. This is the 1% man system. This is how you become elite with women. Elite, where you can have anything you want, you maintain the power. You need all 6 of these. You don't have all 6 pillars, the pyramid collapses. This is exactly what I teach in my one-on-one system, my mentorship system. That's why guys come to me, literally can't even get a number, never approached a woman, no dates, 0. In weeks, they're dating 4 women a week, attractive women, without changing looks, money, or status. This is why. Because there's no stone unturned. You become a master at every single aspect of dating and women. There's not one thing you're missing with my system. This is why it's the most elite dating system on the market. This is why I'm going to take you from bottom 20%, bottom 80% to top 1%, without a doubt, without changing looks, money, or status. Because you start playing the game like a fucking Hall of Fame player. And if you want to be in the 1%, you want me to take you there in just weeks. Change your life forever. Have the skill sets to master women and dating for the rest of your life. Fly below. Maybe it's a good fit. Maybe it's not. I don't accept everybody. But if it is a good fit, prepare to have your life changed forever.